Friends, welcome back again. There's a session on today for how to be a pinnacle performer. And I would just like you to close your eyes and think for 1 minute and see how do you want to be in your life, or what is the peak or the zenith which you would like to reach in your life. And just visualize yourself at that point and see how do you feel, and try to experience that feeling. Definitely, yes, we all like to go ahead in our lives. Just take a minute, and as and when you are ready, just come back to it again and just feel how did you feel when you were at the peak or zenith of what you had wanted. This desire to go ahead to achieve the highest point of achievement is there in everybody. It's there in right from the human beings to the birds to the animals. Why else would you see the birds going about their daily course every day when flying, or trying to find food, or maybe the animals searching for food and going ahead. Basically, the zenith for them is to sustain their life. Similarly, human beings are different because they are endowed with the thinking process, and with the thinking process they are endowed with the need to achieve or do things in a different way. And therefore everybody has that innate desire to reach the highest pinnacle, to reach the highest growth they can in whatever area they would like to. For some it could be like a self development, for some it could be in professional, for some it could be in personal, for some it could be in terms of attaining new skills or anything. But wherever we are, we always cherish the idea to go ahead and to be at the top of it, or to reach the top position, which gives us a lot of sense of exhilaration and happiness. So now, what is a pinnacle performer? A pinnacle performer is a person who is always having that competence, or that values and skills required to do the best and to achieve the best in their task. And wherever they are, they might struggle from the scrap bottom, but they try through their own vision, through their own values, through their own skills, to reach the highest position there. And that's what is the pinnacle performer. We can equate them with star performers, people who always try to stretch themselves. I know one person who was working in a marketing department in an organization for almost about say 30 years, and suddenly the person was at the peak of that career, and the person went into a completely different new field of media, starting from scratch bottom, just to stretch his limits or efforts in a different field, and to find out what he can actually learn at that thing and go ahead in that particular field. So basically, we all have that need or that desire to go ahead and to be at the topmost, and sometimes we have to take risk to do something new in a different way, and that becomes very important as a pinnacle performer. So I, Malini, welcome you to this session, and we will go to see what exactly is meant by pinnacle performer, what are the various needs which drive us, and what are the basic qualities which separate a pinnacle performer from others. The link of achievement is always with contribution. The moment I feel that by doing this I'm contributing back to something, that sense of contribution itself is a very good feeling, because we know that somewhere we are valued, somewhere our things does make a difference, and somewhere we are able to use our skills and give back something to the society, to the organization, wherever we come from. So basically the link of achievement is with contribution, and people who feel are contributing feel much valued and happy. You may not actually use that decision, you may not actually use that idea, but definitely expressing it, definitely trying to see things from a different perspective. At the same time, feeling that your role is important wherever you are. If the role, what you do, is of pride, is of importance to you, then definitely the feeling of being valued and happiness comes from there. If you're doing something which you're not enjoying, where you feel that your role has no value, or you're not actually feeling pride of your role, then definitely that is going to create a negative feeling, and that's going to decrease your motivation. So your feeling of contribution, and the more you feel that you're contributing to the growth of the organization, that itself will make you feel more valued and happy. and that will program you to achieve things in a different way, reach new heights, or carve your path towards the zenith, because you're not stopping yourself, you're just going ahead and handling the challenges and trying to achieve your best potential at that. Pinnacle performers are driven by commitment. If you take the example of Amitabh ji sir or Shah Rukh Khan ji, normally they have come and reached the position through a very hard way. Amitabh ji was criticized for his height and Shah Rukh was criticized for his looks, but they did not give up. They were committed because they had wanted to do something in this field, they had wanted to reach the heights in this field, and they tried to approach or do things in a different way. So their commitment actually motivated them to try a different approach, maybe by taking a negative role, going off the mainstream cinema and then coming back to the mainstream cinema as a main hero. So basically, if they had given up, if they had stopped themselves, then it would have been difficult for them to be at this position. So there are pinnacle performers who are basically driven by commitment. Commitment is that inner sense of motivation and confidence that you can achieve it. There's a self-belief in you, there's a determination in you that no matter what the challenges, I will try to go ahead. Your strength of conviction is very high, and therefore you're convinced that what you're doing is right and you can achieve your goals. They also have a very healthy sense of confidence. They are not shaken up by the remarks or the opinions, or maybe the situations which are not sustaining them, but every difficulty they try to create it into a challenge or an opportunity and try to see how they can work towards it.